A friend's going to love you in the ups and the downs and the hard times and the good times. And you've gained a best friend, a brother, they even call it, right? Through adversity. You really see who your true friends are whenever bad times hit. Hello and welcome to Power Cues, where we answer teens' questions using the Bible, using Scripture. Today we want to talk, and we have a question about friendship, right? How do we choose good friends? How should we act as a friend? And so I kind of want to dive into this, and obviously we're going to be using Scripture. So quality of friends will help you and encourage each other, right? So Proverbs 17:17, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born from a time of adversity. What that means is a friend's going to love you in the ups and the downs and the hard times and the good times, and you've gained a best friend, a brother, they even call it, right? Through adversity. You really see who your true friends are whenever bad times hit, right? Proverbs 27:17, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. So we should feed off each other, right? With good works and helping and encouraging each other to do those good works. 1 Thessalonians in the New Testament 5:11, therefore encourage one another and help build up one another, just as you also are doing. So a good friend will encourage you, will build you up, not tear you down. Ephesians 4:2, always be humble and gentle, be patient with each other, making allowances for each other's faults because of your love. So you'll be humble, gentle, kind, patient with each other. That's what a good friend will do. Now, we get to choose our friends a lot of times, right? We can kind of slide in and out of crowds, and the crowd that we hang around with, the group that we hang around with, definitely affects our lives. Remember that. Psalms 119:63, I'm a friend to all who fear you, you meaning God, to all who follow your precepts, precepts meaning your words, your writings, your laws, right? So David, or the psalmist, says, I'm a friend to all who fear you and follow your precepts, your laws, your commands, your writings, your words. That's a really good depiction on who your friends, your close friends should be. Definitely should be someone who is following the Lord, right? Proverbs 12:26, the righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. So it is easier to do good works in a crowd who is also doing good works, right? It's easier to follow the Lord when you have a group of people who are doing the same things. Likewise, it's easier to do wrong, sinful, bad things when the crowd is doing wrong, sinful, and bad things. It's easier to do those things, right? Because we are swayed either way. Proverbs 22:24-25. Do not make friends with a hot-tempered person. Do not associate with one who is easily angered, or you may learn their ways and get yourself ensnared. Again, it's easier when someone acts a certain way and your group that you follow acts a certain way to follow them in that way, whether it's good or bad. It's easier when you're in a group, right? So that's why you got to be very careful with who you align yourself with. Also, and this is not right or wrong, but just aligning yourself with a certain group automatically, right, puts you at risk of people thinking good or bad things. Now, again, it's not about what people think. I understand that. But it's the same as being in a car, right, with people who have drugs or alcohol in there. Even though you don't do drugs or alcohol and you getting pulled over, what's going to happen is you are included in that arrest or in that citation or whatever, because you were associated, you were in the vehicle with those things. So just be mindful of where you're at and who you're with at all times. Be careful in who you choose to be your friends. Now, I want to give you some practical steps on ways to find good friendship, okay? Good friends. What is involved in being a good friend? Ask yourself that question and make a list, okay? And I would use scripture to define the majority of that list, right? So what is involved in being a good friend? Make a list. You can use Ephesians 4:2, humble. Always be humble and gentle, patient with each other, making allowances for each other's fault. 1 Thessalonians 5:11, encourage one another, build up one another. So you can use those two verses even. You want someone who's humble, who's gentle, who's patient, who's encouraging, who builds me up. Now, you write that down, but then take that list and point it back at yourself. Are you humble? Are you patient? Are you gentle? Do you build people up or do you tear them down? Are you an encourager or are you a discourager in life? So take that list and then use it on yourself. Another one is have an awareness of other people who are hurting around you. It takes being a good friend to have a good friend. So if you would love someone whenever you're hurting or you're going through something to be there for you, then you be there for someone who's hurting or who's going through something. You be the one that stands up and says, you know what, I'm not going to let that person sit alone. I'm going to go talk to them, right? And I'm going to go encourage them because you would love to be encouraged. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. So continue just to go through those things and use scripture to define what good friendship is. We can see in things like Job, right? In the book of Job, bad friendship, right? When he was going through hard, adverse times, he was getting people who were just telling him to curse God and die, including his own wife, right? Because the times he was just going through were so painful and hard. But he wasn't having his people actually encourage him. The other thing is you can look at David and you can look at his close friendships. You know, you can look through those narratives with Jonathan, David and Jonathan being close friends, and to the fact that Jonathan even warned him, and in essence, because of that warning, it saved David's life. But he was willing to risk his own if his father found out what he was doing to save his friend's David's life. Paul and Timothy, right? Paul was a mentor to Timothy, and the friendship you can see in the closeness that they had together, and that what Paul was willing to sacrifice for Timothy to sacrifice for Paul, and ultimately them both sacrificing themselves and their lives for the Lord together. That gives you some good depictions. Job gives you the depiction of bad friendship who's not going to stick with you even to hard, rough, horrible, everything lost times, his friends turning their back on him. But then you have David and Jonathan, Paul and Timothy, who we can see of good friendship. So use scripture to define what good friendship is and what to look for in good friendship. And I'm going to tell you, you will find that. Continue to pray and ask God to bring good friends and help you be a good friend to other people. Hey, I love you guys. I hope you guys are doing well. Can't wait to see you guys again. Just continue to use scripture to answer the questions that you have in life. Hey, we love you guys. Have a good day.